Yeah, Steve, Ezekiel Elliott, 26 on the list. I know last year, not the greatest season, but just a bad team that played with Andy Dalton for long stretches and were very infrequently playing with the lead. What is it that goes into Ezekiel Elliott at number 26?
Yeah, so I mean, 26 is maybe a little bit aggressive, but basically it's a do not draft type warning sign for Elliott for me. Last year he was running back 11. That's about where I have him right now. And I mean, he played more games than several of the running backs ahead of him. So that's also not a good factor for him of moving up. Yes, he gets Dak back. That will help somewhat, but he had 4 yards per rush last year. Only so much of that can be helped by Dak. He had his yards per reception drop from 7.8 to 6.5. It's never a good sign for running backs age 26. 26 is not off the cliff completely, but NFL these days is young running backs, and he is no longer the young running back that he has been in the past. So I'm not super excited there. Dak back will help the offense, but are they going to go to Elliott with Dak back, or are they going to go to a more proficient passing game with Lamb breaking out a little bit with Cooper, etc.? I don't really see that as a place where Zeke is going to have a big bounce back. On top of that, his matchups in the playoffs are less than exciting. Week 16, he's going against the football team. They're expected to have one of the better defenses this year, and that's one of the weeks that you need to really have a big, strong week. It's the most important week of the season for fantasy football. A lot of people will think it's the championship, but really getting into the championship is typically the most important week if you're looking for return on your investment, just because of the way the payout structures work. And yeah, I mean, even week 15, they got an outside matchup against the Eagles, also not very exciting as well. So, I mean, I don't really see the appeal of drafting Elliott in the top 10 at all.
I've got a counter argument to that, Steve, which is that the Dallas Cowboys offensive line was really banged up last year. Tyron Smith missed games. I think he missed all but 2 games. Zach Martin missed games. Leo Collin missed games. They lost Frederick, their all-pro center, before the season. That's got to hinder his production, does it not?
Yeah, for sure. That should help out. Even if he moves from like 4 yards per rush to 4.2 or something from that, though, I don't. It doesn't have a big enough factor for me to move him into the top 10 where he's going.
But aren't to me, like, the number one indicator of a running back's success outside of pass catching ability is going to be what the offensive line can do. Do you not bake that in at all? Or are you not like if the Cowboys offensive line goes from like a nut low to one of the top offensive lines, would that affect your projection at all? Or do you just not even worry about it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that is a key factor. I just don't know if the fact that he has like so many negatives going towards him, it's going to be enough to offset it. So I think that certainly is something that I could, bump up his yards per rush. Let's see what I have for him currently. I think I have around 4.1 or something, but I think his age and just those playoff matchups still won't be enough. But yeah, certainly think that's probably a good fair argument for him getting a few more points.
Also, 26 years old. That's old for a running back now. I thought 30 was the age.
26 is old for me for a running back. 26 itself isn't old, but it's also he's gotten a lot of wear and tear in those years too. So there's something to be said about that. And not missing any games the last 2 years, or maybe 1 game. It's just a lot going on with him.
Yeah, I think it's super concerning that, when you're looking at who you're going to pick in the first round, and you look at the efficiency metrics like that I tend to look at, like fantasy points versus expectation, where McCaffrey's at 6 per game, Kamara's at 5, Derrick Henry at 3.5 over expected per game, and Elliott's down at -3, so less than expected per game. But at the same time, I think like fundamentally, I want a workhorse running back on a prolific offense, and I certainly project Dallas's offense to be prolific. If you look at just the first 4 weeks, which I know is a small sample, Elliott had the highest expected fantasy points per game, higher than Kamara, higher than Aaron Jones, higher than Derrick Henry. Small sample again, but that's upside enough for me, at least at the end of the first round.